Good morning, everyone. How are you today? I hope that you're feeling all right. So this morning we have our new lesson about addition of integers. So are you now ready? Let's go. I'm happy to inform you that today we will have a new topic, which is addition of integers. This is chapter 2, module 4. But first, let us define integers. Okay, so the set of integers is represented by z, whose elements are from negative infinity to negative 1, 0, 1 to positive infinity. So meaning an integer is not a fraction. It's not a decimal. Speaking of positive integers, so that represents how much of something do you have. For negative integers, we're talking of something which you do not have. So that's negative integers. All right. Integers can be represented on a number line. Okay, so like whole numbers, real numbers. So that's why we have real number line. Okay, now take a look at this. This is a real number line. We are illustrating the set of integers. Okay, the middle, the 0. To the right of 0 are positive integers. To the left of 0 are negative integers. So meaning from negative infinity to 0, to negative 1 included, 0, and from 1 to positive infinity, 1 is included. So that's the set of integers. Okay, all right. The number line shows that every number has its opposite. Okay, so the opposite of 10 is negative 10, and the opposite of negative 2 is 2. All right. If we have negative 10, the opposite is 10. If we have 50, the opposite is negative 50. All right. So, but in order to solve for the addition of integers, there are methods. Okay. So one method is by the use of number line, and the other one is by the use of absolute value. Okay, so we will discuss one by one. Okay, let's start with using the number line. Okay, we know that we have a real number line. For example, number 1, we will be adding 2 and 9. So definitely, 2 plus 9, that's 11. There's no question of adding two numbers if it is positive. But what about if we have two negative? If we are adding positive and negative numbers? So it's very confusing. So let's start with the 2 plus 9 by using the number line. This is the number line. Okay, so 0 to the right of 0 are positive, to the left are negative. Since we are dealing with positive, so meaning we will be illustrating positive, from 0 to the right. 2 plus 9. Okay. Okay, so meaning 2 plus 9, that's 2 units from 0 going to the right. Plus 9, so from 2, add 9 units to the right because 9 is positive. So this is it. Okay, this is the illustration. Okay, so from 2, move 9 units to the right. Okay, so what will be the answer? So we are going to count from 0, or in the arrow stop, which is 11. So meaning 2 plus 9 is 11. Correct? So I think that's not, there's no question for that. Let's go to example number 2. Negative 5 plus negative 3. This time we are adding two negative numbers. What do you think is the sum? Okay, so we will illustrate using the number line. So we have this number line. Negative 5, so meaning from 0 going to the left, going to negative 5. So that's 5 units from 0. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And from negative 5, move 3 units to the left because we have negative 3. So we have this one, 0 to negative 5. From negative 5 to negative 8. So from negative 5, 1, 2, 3, that's 3 units. So definitely the answer for this is equal to negative 8. Okay, so from negative 5, you move 3 units to the left. Okay, this is how we illustrate the addition of negative 5 and negative 3, which is negative 8. You notice, class, without using the number line, you notice that we are adding two negative numbers. If you're adding two same sign numbers, add the numbers and copy the common sign, which is negative. That's why 5 plus 3 is 8. The common sign is negative, so negative 8. Okay, anyway, we'll discuss that later. Let's go to example number 3. All right, negative 4 plus 6. This time, we will be adding two opposite numbers, the negative 4 and positive 6. How do we represent that in the real number line? Okay, negative 4, so meaning from 0 to negative 4. Okay, that's it. From negative 4, move 6 units to the right because 6 is positive. So meaning it is positive going to the right, it is negative going to the left. Okay, so from negative 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So it terminates to 2. So meaning the answer for this is positive. Okay, it's positive 2. Okay, so this is the representation. So meaning to say this is your starting point, 0. Move 4 units to the left, that's negative 4. And from negative 4, 6 units to the right. So this time, do not count, okay, cancel. And it stopped. So from 0, 1, 2. So that's 2 units. Or simply, this is the end point. The end point of the arrow or the segment is 2. So meaning, negative 4 plus 6 is equal to 2. Okay, let's go to using the absolute value. Okay, so we have done explaining on how to add numbers using the real number line. This time using the absolute value. First, what do you mean by an absolute value? Let's say absolute value of 4, absolute value of 5. What do you mean by that? Absolute value of negative 100. What do you mean by that? We are talking of the distance, okay, from 0. If we have absolute value of 4, so meaning to say, we are counting how many units from 0 to positive 4, which is 4 units. What if I have absolute value of negative 4? So meaning I am counting the number of units from 0 to negative 4, which is equal to 4 units. Okay, so meaning to say, absolute value of a number is always positive. Why positive? Because we're talking of the distance from 0 to a certain point, whether to the right or to the left of 0. That's the absolute value. All right, so let's take example number 1, the 2 plus 9. So what's the process? We're going to take the absolute value of two numbers, and if it has same sign, copy the sign of the common sign. Copy the common sign. All right. So we will take the absolute value of 2 plus the absolute value of 9, which is equal to absolute value of 2 is 2, and absolute value of 9 is 9. It is equal to 11. And copy the common sign, which is positive. So our answer would be positive 11. Okay, that's simple. Number 2. Okay, so add negative 5 and negative 3. So we are adding two negative numbers. Number 1, we are adding two positive numbers. Number 2, we are adding two negative numbers. So what's the process? Take the absolute values of the numbers, add the absolute values, and copy the common sign, which is negative. Now, in this case, absolute value of negative 5, which is 5, plus absolute value of negative 3, which is 3. 5 plus 3, that's 8. But 8 is not yet the correct answer because we will be following the common sign, which is negative. So therefore, the final answer would be negative 8. Okay? I think that's clear. Let's go to example number 3. Add -4 and 6. Okay, we are adding two opposite numbers, the positive 6 and -4. What's the process? Take the absolute values of the numbers, subtract their absolute value, and copy the sign of the number with bigger absolute value. Now, in this case, we will take the absolute value of -4 plus the absolute value of -6. Okay, so we have this one. Absolute value of -4 is 4. Absolute value of 6 is 6. So, meaning, we will subtract larger number minus smaller number and copy the sign of the larger number. Now, in this case, -4 and 6. I mean, 4 and 6, which is bigger, 4 or 6? 6, and 6 is positive. Therefore, the final answer would be positive 2, because 6 minus 4 is 2, and copy the sign of the larger number, which is positive. Therefore, it's positive. All right. Okay? All right. Now, in case where there are 2 or more addends, you have to apply some properties of real numbers. Okay, so I think you can still recall the properties of real numbers we discussed in previous lesson. Okay, so these are closure property for addition and multiplication. What else? Commutative property for addition and multiplication. Associative property for addition and multiplication. We have additive inverse, additive identity, multiplicative inverse, distributive property of multiplication over addition, and so on and so forth. Now, we will apply if we have 2 or more addends, okay, like that one. 10 plus -11 plus 5 plus -8. Anyway, we can apply the absolute value, or we can also apply the real number line. But in this case, we can apply some properties of integers or properties of real numbers. Okay. We have 10 plus 5. Why 10 plus 5? Because of associative property, wherein we are grouping the numbers according to their properties. We will combine all the positive in one group and all the negatives in another group, okay, to make it easier. So that's why 10 plus 5 plus -11 plus -8. Okay, we know that 10 plus 5 is 15. That's not questionable. -11 plus -8, what's the rule? The same sign, add the numbers, and copy the common sign. So -11, -8 have the common sign, which is negative. So therefore, we are going to add 11 and 8, which is 19, and copy the common sign, which is negative. That's why we have -19. Now, we are adding two opposite numbers, the positive and negative. So what will be the process? Subtract, or get the absolute value of 15, which is 15. Get the absolute value of -19, which is 19, and then subtract 15 minus 19, or 19 minus 15, which is 4. And what is the sign of the larger number, which is larger, 15 or 19? Of course, it's 19. Therefore, the final answer would be -4. Okay? All right. So we have an alternative method. When we speak of alternative, other way around, or another solution. Okay, so if you have this one, we can combine the +10 and -11, like this one. Okay, we can group, we can combine this one without association, without associating from one number to another. So in this case, 10 plus -11. So we will apply the rule. We will take the absolute value of 10, which is 10, the absolute value of -11, which is 11. So we will subtract, because 10 is positive, 11 is negative, opposite sign. So 11 minus 10, that's 1. What is the sign of the larger number? Okay. Answer, -1. Now, for 5 and -8, opposite numbers. Simply subtract. Okay, so if you want, you can use the absolute value Absolute value of negative 8 is 8. So we can subtract 8 minus 5, 3. What is the sign of the larger number? Negative. Okay, so that's negative 3. We are adding two negative numbers. Same sign. So all you have to do is to add 1 plus 3, 4. What is the sign of the common, what is the common sign? Negative. So therefore, the answer is negative 4. Adding same sign, add the numbers and copy the common sign in the sum. Adding two numbers with different signs, subtract the numbers from higher to lower number and copy the sign of the larger number. That's the rule. Okay, you have to remember that. Okay, adding same sign, adding numbers with the same sign, add the numbers and copy the common sign. Another one, adding two opposite numbers, subtract the numbers and copy the sign of the larger number in the sum. All right. So what about this one? Can you try? Can you give me the right answer for this? Negative 3 plus 7 plus negative 4 plus 9 plus negative 10 plus 60 plus 6, negative 6. No? So in my case, in order to solve for this, I am combining all the negatives and all the positive. Okay, to make it easier. So that the final answer would be two expression, I'm sorry, two terms. And then you combine two terms or two numbers. All right. So if you're going to combine all the negatives, negative 3, negative 5, negative 10, negative 6, so all you have to do is to add these numbers. 10 plus 6, 16, plus 5, 21, plus 3, 24. So that's negative 24. Positive, 9 and 7. 9 and 7, 16. 24 minus 16. Answer is negative 8. All right. So negative 24 plus 16. Negative 24 plus 16. So meaning we are adding two opposite numbers. So 24 minus 16, that's 8. What is the sign of the larger number? What's the sign of 24? Negative. So therefore, it's negative 8. Okay, so it's very simple. Okay, then reactions. All right, let's go to the next. All right, let's go to the application of addition of integers. We have this problem. Aljun drove his car with starting rate of 60 km per hour. He then decreased it by 15 km per hour, then increased by 25 km per hour, and finally decreased by 10 km per hour. What is the speed of the car now? All right, so as what I've said, this is the application of addition of integers. Increase meaning that's positive, decrease meaning negative. So we will be adding, we have the starting rate at 60. So 60, then decrease it by 15. So that's 60 minus 15. So the answer is 45. Then increase by 25. So that's 45 plus 25, that's 70. And finally decreased by 10. So meaning 70 minus 10. So what is the speed of the car now? Definitely, the correct answer is 60 km per hour. Okay, so any question? All right. So let's go to fill in the blanks with integers to make the statement true. So this is the application. All right, so we'll see if you know the answer for this one. All right. All right, we have negative 7 plus 16. That's 9. Okay, so because 16 and negative 7, so that's opposite. Okay, so you subtract 16 minus 7. That's 9, and copy the sign of the larger, which is 16. So therefore, the answer is negative 9. All right, so we have this problem. 12 plus negative 6 equals blank. All right, so meaning we are going to add positive 12 and negative 6. So opposite in sign, definitely subtract. Subtract 12 minus 6, that's 6. And what is the sign of the larger number? Obviously, 12 is the larger. So meaning the answer for this is positive 6. Okay. Let's go to the next. Blank plus negative 12 is equal to negative 7. So what can we add to negative 12 so that the sum is equal to negative 7? Okay, so can think of a number wherein subtracted by 12 is equal to negative 11, or a number added to negative 12 is equal to negative 7. Okay, answer? Okay, answer is 5. 5, because 5 plus negative 12, of course, this is addition, and we are adding two opposite numbers. So negative and positive. So definitely 12 minus 5, that's 7. What is the sign of a larger number? 12 is larger than 5. So therefore, the sum is negative 7. So the number we're looking for is 5. Okay, let's go to the next. Blank plus 55 equals negative 11. Can you think of a number added to 55, the sum is equal to 11? Okay, so the answer is negative 66. Why negative 66? Negative 66 plus 55, of course, offset, subtract. 6 minus 55, that's 11. What is the sign of the larger number? Is negative, so therefore the answer is negative 11. Okay, all right, so let's go to the next. Negative 25 plus blank is equal to 17. What do you think is the answer? Negative 25 plus blank equals 17. The answer is 42. Okay, let's go to the next. Blank plus 25 is equal to 0. What can you add to 25 so that the sum is equal to 0? You can apply the additive inverse. What is the additive inverse of 25? Added to itself is equal to 0. Okay, the answer is, obviously, it's negative 25. Or negative 25 plus 25 is 0. Okay. Okay. Next. 16 plus blank plus 12 plus negative 2 equals 66. Okay. So to solve for the blank, okay, the unknown number, we're going to add 16 and 12. That's 28 plus negative 2. That's positive 26. All right. Okay, 28 plus positive 2, that's 26. So 66 minus 26, answer is positive 40. Next. All right. Negative 1 plus negative 5 plus 7 plus 4 plus negative 11. Okay. What is the sum? Right, so we will combine all the negatives to make it easier. Negative 1, negative 5, negative 11. So add the numbers and copy the common sign. 11 plus 5 plus 1, that's 16. So we have negative 16. And 7 plus 4 is 11. So we are adding negative 16 plus 11. Subtract. 16 minus 11. Answer? And what is the sign of the common number? So the answer is negative 6. 16 is negative. Okay. So 11, 16, 16, 17, sorry. Negative 11 plus negative 5, negative 1, that's negative 17. The negative 17 plus positive 11, so negative 6. Okay, next. Negative 7 plus negative 3 plus negative 11 plus negative 9. The answer is 0. So what will be the unknown number? Of course, we will add this negative, 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 negative. So we will combine all the numbers. 9 plus 11, 20, plus 3, 23, plus 7, 30. So we have negative 30. What can you add? What can you add to negative 30 so that the sum is 0? Obviously, The answer is positive 30. All right? Okay, so let's go to the next problem. Given the number line below, give the coordinate of each of the following. So we have this number line. We're going to identify the coordinates. Okay, problem. Now, by the way, this is the coordinates. Okay, so negative 10, negative 9, negative 8, so 0, 1, 2, and so on and so forth. These are coordinates. Number one, moving 5 units to the right and another 5 units to the right, meaning the direction is going to the right. So we are adding 5 and another 5. So what's the sum? The sum is positive 10. Let's go to number 2. Moving 15 units to the left and another 15 units to the left. So we are adding 2 negative numbers. Okay, so negative 15 plus negative 51. The answer is negative 66. All right. Last number. Moving 11 units to the left, 11. 5 units to the right, so that's 11 plus 5, plus negative 11 plus 5, that's negative 6. Another 71 units to the right, okay, negative 6, 71, that's positive 65. And 1,000 units to the left, 65, that's negative 1,000 plus 65. Answer, negative 915. All right, so any question? All right.